All right, welcome to Frank Teaches DevOps. Okay, so in this Friday teaser, I will be describing how you can you can deploy um, a virtual machine on um, Azure portal using Terraform. How to deploy a virtual machine instance to Azure Cloud using Terraform. Okay, using Terraform. So this is my node from my architecture. This is my physical machine. On my physical machine, I have Terraform and I also have Azure CLI. So I'll be using Terraform to deploy to Azure Cloud. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to install Terraform and Azure CLI. All right. So quickly, let's hop onto my browser and I'll say terraform.io. Terraform.io. I'll click on download. Click on download. Should come. All right. Go to Linux. Go to Amazon Linux because I'm using Amazon Linux. Copy all of this. Um, Let me just copy everything. Copy. I'm supposed to install one by one, but let's do that. Copy. Yeah, this has gone. This and okay, this is the last one. Okay, so we just installed Terraform. Terraform. So let's check. Let's check if Terraform is and has been installed. Great. So if I say Terraform minus V, I should get Terraform version. Perfect on Amazon Linux. So Terraform is working. Then the next thing we need to do as per our diagram is to install what? Azure CLI. So let's go back. Let's go back to our browser and let's hit how to install Azure CLI. Azure CLI, Azure CLI install. So how to install Azure CLI? Copy this. Copy on Linux. Sorry. Okay, okay. From scripts from using DNF. Let's look at the scripts. Let's look at scripts. Using the scripts, this is just one liner. Just one liner should do the magic for you. Just copy that one liner, and then come here and paste it. Just paste it and hit enter. It should get the Azure CLI downloaded, and once this is downloaded, it will now use bash. Right. So there are two commands running here. So using call to download the CLI, the script. This is the script. Okay, so in turn, you're using bash. All right, you're piping another command bash to run the script. Okay, so that's what's actually happening. So it says that we should, in what directory would you like to place? I would like to place it on the slash user slash local slash user slash local. All right, it should be here. It's not empty and may contain the previous installation. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, let me say no. Say no. It's suggesting for us to leave it blank. Okay, I just say like okay. Slash user slash local slash Azure CLI. All right, so that's it. So created. Your Azure CLI will be installed at user local Azure CLI. So in what directory would you like to place the easy executable? So I want to place it under slash user. Sorry, sorry. Oh, this is- wait. Let me terminate this. Let's run that. Okay. This should be under slash user slash local slash bin. All right. Okay. Let me terminate again, please. This should be under slash user slash local slash Azure CLI. All right. So the next one will be slash user slash local slash bin. This is my bin folder. Okay. So it takes some time. So I'm going to pause the video, and once it's done installing, I'll be right back. Okay. It's like it's getting completed. Yes. So I didn't see successful. Okay, installation successful. Run CLI with this help. All right, so should run this. That's the run. So let's check. AZ A. Okay, AZ is coming. So the first thing I need to do, I need to log into my Azure tenant. All right. So I have Terraform. So at this juncture, I have both Terraform and Azure CLI. So let's log into Azure tenants. I'll say AZ login. So AZ login, I'm going to copy this URL, copy it, and paste it on the browser. Paste it on the browser for me to log in. Then to ask for a code, that's the code. So go back, and here is my code. Copy that code, copy it. It's been copied. Come here and paste that code. Say next. So the moment I say next, it's going to authenticate me. Click on my account. So that's my account. Continue. It's not telling me that you have signed into Microsoft Azure cross-platform command line interface, blah blah blah. So if I go back to my terminal, I should see something like this. So as it is here, this is my subscription ID, and here is my tenant. Okay, so take note of those two, copy them, subscription ID and tenant. So let me save it. Do I need to save it? All right. Let me create a file called provider.tf. Okay. So the next thing I need to do now is I may need to go to my Google and then type Terraform Azure provider. So I just want to see the syntax that Azure uses to declare the provider block. Okay, so here it is. Copy. So let's go up. Okay, great. So here's the provider. I just need to grab all of this, copy this, and come here and paste it. Okay, so is the next thing I need to set is my subscription ID and tenant ID. So subscription underscore ID. So it has to be a value, and then tenant underscore ID. It also has to be a value. Okay, so let's check other arguments we can pass. So you can see you can pass subscription ID and also pass tenant ID. So those are the two arguments that I need to fully authenticate to my to fully deploy to my Azure tenant. Okay, so let's save this, and I left my tenant ID here. So here is my tenant ID. So copy it, go back to my provider, space is pasted. I save it, subscription ID, copy the subscription ID, copy it, go back, provider, and I paste it. Okay, so now I have my subscription ID and my tenant ID. Most of the times for security reasons, normally pass these as environment variables. We normally export them as environment variables. So instead of doing it like as it is, just export it as an environment variable. Okay. So we've defined our provider.tf. Okay. So now let's initialize our provider. So we'll say Terraform init. Let's initialize. The other thing goes where initializing the back end, initializing provider plugin, finding latest version, installing HashiCorp, Azure RM 3.8.0. Okay, so yeah, okay, so just successfully initialize our Terraform Azure provider. Okay, so the next thing I need to take us through is here it is. Okay, so we install Terraform, we will install Azure CLI. All right, so I need to see how I the resources that are needed to create a virtual machine. All right, the resources that are needed to create a virtual machine. So let's hop onto Azure Cloud. Let's hop to my cloud and search for virtual machine. Click on virtual machines. I want to see what I need. All right, what resources do I need to add in my Terraform script? So I want to create Azure virtual machine. Okay, just Azure virtual machine. Let's see. Why is it taking time? Okay, so I'm gonna use need a resource group. So a resource group is here, which is the first item there. So I'm also gonna need definitely virtual machine name will be there, the region will be there, availability zone, availability zone. Okay, it's optional. Security type is optional. Image. I also define the image. So it could be let's say Ubuntu 2018.04 LTS. Let's say Ubuntu. Then the size has to be defined as well. Okay. Then what again? Username, Azure user. If I'm using public key, if I'm using SSH, all right. If I'm using password, so I'm using SSH. I'll define my it generates key pair. Is going to create a key pair for me. Then key pair name. This should be the key pair name. Inbound rules. Let's just see quickly. Let's just see quickly. My VM. This should be my VM. I'm deploying in East US. So this is not available. This site is currently not unavailable in East US. Let me change the region. East US 2. All right. So East US 2. This site is currently not available. Let me change size. Let me change this. Let me just take D series. D series. I will want to take yeah, DC1SV3. Select. This should be available. So let's take down that standard DC1S underscore V3. All right. So it's a standard underscore that. Okay. All right. So public key SSH is going to generate key pair for me. My key name would be this. All right. So public key inbound ports allow selected. So allow selected. I'm going to use SSH as my inbound port. Okay. So also need this port number. Public inbound. So if I say none, then means I will not be able to log in via SSH. So I have to put it. And ports. If I want all of these as well, I can select them. Next is the disk. So OS disk type, locally standard. Okay, we have to define all of that as well. OS disk encryption type is giving us default. Okay, so that's it. So next is network. We need networking. So we have to create a virtual network. We have to create a subnet. We have to create a public IP. It's optional. Network security group. I can give basic. Then public inbound ports. Allow these ports, right? Yeah. So you can place the virtual machine in the backend pool of an existing Azure load balancer. If you want to use an Azure load balancer, but I don't think it's necessary, all right? Except if you want to use it, okay? But if you don't want to use it, just uncheck it, okay? Say next. So that's in a, we're going to rule out this guy. We're going to remove these two. We don't need it, just keep it simple. Next is management, blah blah blah, monitoring. Next is advanced. Let's see what's on advanced. They're all optional. Next is tagging. Next is review and create. Okay, so this is how you create a virtual machine on Azure. All right. So now let's hop onto our scripts. I'm not going to create anything. So let's just hop onto my script, and I'm going to create. I've created my provider already. So let me just create my main.tf. So in my main.tf, I will need a resource group. Okay. So I'll just hop onto Terraform, and I would say Google, sorry, Terraform, Azure RM resource group. Let's see how a resource group is defined. So open this. We need the resource group. A resource group is a kind of a container where you deploy all your resources into. So I'm going to copy this resource group, copy it as it is. It's just simple. Come here, paste it. Okay. So Azure RM resource group, let me give you a logical name, my ROG, okay, or I could just say demo ROG. So demo ROG. So the resource group name, I want to do it like this. So I would love to say resource group name is VM dash dollar. I'm using an interpolation to give it a befitting name, Terraform dot workspace. All right. I like naming resources in this convention. Then this has to be ROG. So it's going to be VM. So this Terraform dot workspace is going to display to me my Terraform workspace. There's a concept called Terraform workspace. Okay. So if I hit Terraform and I say workspace list to tell me the default workspace I am in, default workspace is default. All right. Now I can create other workspaces, okay, meaning that I don't want to deploy to default workspace. I want to deploy to maybe dev, staging, as the case may be. All right. So workspace is actually used to deploy same resource to different environments. For instance, now I say Terraform workspace new. I want to create a new workspace. New, let me say dev. So the moment I hit enter to tell me that this dev has been created and has also been switched towards the dev workspace. So if I do Terraform workspace list, I should see dev. So dev is now active. So let's work with dev going forward. All right. Okay. So the next resource I need to create is VM main. So the next resource I need to create is virtual network. So this is what I will do. I'm done with this. So I'll come here. I'll say Azure RM virtual network. So that's it. So it will give me, it will tell me how virtual network is defined. So let's look at virtual network. Okay. Now to define virtual network, they say I need a security group. All right. So the virtual network, this is the name. I'm calling my location. I'm calling my resource group. Okay. I'm also calling the address. I'm defining the address space. I'm defining the DNS servers. All right. So inside the virtual network, I'm also defining my subnet 1 and subnet 2 for these DNS servers. All right. Two subnets. I have two subnets in this. Okay. So network security group. Let me see. Okay, let's see. So let's just copy everything as it is. Let's just copy everything as it is. Security group. Let's copy that. Come over here. I would love to make it look nice. So I will say this is resource group. Okay, just to make your code look readable. Okay, readable code. All right. So the next one is I paste all of those. So let's just make few corrections here. So this the same thing. So one, two, and three. So this will be network network what? Security group. I don't know if it's actually this network security group is needed, but let's do it. Oh, sorry. Just to keep your code looking neat, nice. So security group. So the name will be let me say ng interpolate it to my environment terraform dot workspace, okay, dash sg. All right, so security group, network security group. So these are I want it. So my location, I'm going to call my location from my resource group. Azure resource group dot the logical name demo rog, okay, dot location. All right, great. Same thing is resource group name. Resource group name, I could just call okay, the same thing, demo rog dot name. So to just pick this name as this, to pick it and assign it here. Okay, so it's the same thing. So that was resource group. That was a network security. Okay, that was network security. So this will be virtual network. Virtual network. All right. So virtual network. Keep it simple. Virtual network. All right. So because of time, let me just do it and I'll just show us how I did it. All right. Okay, so you can see I've defined everything right from the security group, Azure RM security group. The logical name is Demo SG. Then the virtual network, I've defined the name as it is. Okay, so this is what I just did. Like I said, because of time, we have to do everything snappy. So I've also defined the subnet. I'm creating two subnets. This is my first subnet, all right? So this will be my second subnet. Copy that, bring it here. I didn't do this. Let me paste it there. Okay, let me just say sub one, subnet two. Would that be nice? The subnet 2, okay, subnet 2, and this happens to be subnet 1, okay. um all right, okay, okay. So I'm calling my security group, all right. I'm attaching my security group to my subnet 2, okay, and also I'm creating my environment. Okay, so this is how I create my environment. My environment is going to pick what my workspace is. So the next thing on our table is that was virtual network, subnet. Uh, we are attaching that subnet inside of the virtual network, or invariably you can go directly to the subnet. So that's fine. That's okay. Let's go ahead. Next one is what? Network interface. All right, network interface. Then to be a next one, virtual machine. So for a network interface, the same thing. We'll come over here and we'll say Azure RM network interface. Okay, so network interface. Let's see how a network interface is defined. Network interface, subnets. Here is the network interface. So in the network interface, IP config, subnet ID. So this means we may have to create subnets separately. So let me take this. Let me go back. Virtual network. Okay, let me create the subnet separately. Okay, so let me come down. Let's paste. Sorry. We have to create this separately. Subnet. So it's being pasted. I'm going to work on it, edit it, and I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I have removed the other parts of that were in the virtual network. Okay, so I just want to keep it simple. Okay, I'll be having two DNS servers. All right. So now for my subnet, I'm creating just one subnet. Okay, creating one subnet. So I'll come here and I'll do the editing as well for the subnet as well as the network interface. Okay, so I'm still making the changes. So this is the virtual network name, which has changed. This is the address prefix. So next one is the network interface. So I'll call this demo NIC. All right, demo NIC. And I could say dollar. Let me just copy my Terraform stuff. There, next, this is the naming. Location, this is how I'm gonna name my uh, location. Demo ROG. Okay, demo ROG. Resource group name, demo ROG. Okay, the IP configuration, the name is calling it internal. You can always change it. IP dash K, come here, dollar, IP dev conf. Okay, subnet ID. I'm calling my subnet ID from my subnet. So here's my subnet. So this part is going to be demo sub.id. The private IP allocation is dynamic. So this is all that. All right, this is all that. So let me make it look nice. Okay, I just added this part and this part just to make it look readable. All right, so everything is going fine. It's going fine. So next on our table is so manage disk availability set will come under virtual machine. So let's look at virtual machine. So if I go here, I'll say Terraform um, virtual virtual machine. So let's see how it's defined. So we might want to see all of the definition we've made so far. Okay, so here it is. We've defined the resource group. We've also defined a virtual network. We've defined the subnet. We've defined the interface, IP configuration, and here comes the virtual machine. All right, here comes the virtual machine. So they've used password instead of SSH. Okay, I have another configuration that makes use of SSH. Let me check this. Let me check this instead of password. Okay, good. So in here, they have made use of admin SSH. Okay. All right. So let's copy this setup. Let me copy this setup. Copy. Great. Copy this. That's it. So let's come here and paste. Okay. Come down. I'll paste. I'll do the same configuration and I'll be right back. Okay. I'm still making these changes. I've set the VM name. I've also set the VM size, the user to this VM's admin user. Network interface. Remember we created a network interface up here. So I'm going to call that network interface in here. So this is the network interface. So it's going to be Azure RM network interface dot demonic.id. So we're calling that, we are requesting the virtual machine instance to use that network interface, demo NIC. All right, the ID. Then the SSH key. So the username to the SSH key is admin user. Then the public key, I'm going to pass the public key as a file. So let me quickly create that using the file function. Let me quickly create the public key. So this is what I will do. I'll say SSH key generate minus the file name is let me say demo key. All right. So demo key passphrase. I'm gonna make it a little bit empty. Should I leave it empty? Um, no. Let me redo it. Demo. Let me remove that key. Let's redo it. Let me give it a passphrase. Passphrase is 1 2. Passphrase 1 2. Saving key failed. Passphrase is too short. Okay, recall it. So red at 1 for free. Red at at 1 for free. Okay, done. So I now have this passphrase demo key dot pop. So go back to my main.tf. So main.tf, where are you? So my public key will be in quotes. That will be demo key dot pub. All right. Yes. The OSD catching is read write standard LRS. Source image reference is canonical. The offer, which is the OS, is Ubuntu. So I need Ubuntu 18.04 version. If I say latest, it will give me 22.04 because currently it's all right, so that's that about the virtual machine. So I've just defined the virtual machine, which is the last part in our our settings. All right. So now I'm through. So all I need to do now is let's go back to the top. So you see everything we did. We created a resource group. We created a network security group. We created a virtual machine. All right. So all of these are calling the resource group. Okay. All right, so let's come down. What did we create again? We created a subnet. So in the subnet, um, this is subnet name, this is resource group, this is virtual network name, this is address prefix, then network interface. We created a network interface, okay, and we finally created a virtual machine. So let's escape and save and quit. So let's run Terraform plan and see if everything goes fine. Let's see what we have. Terraform plan. So they're saying error. An argument or block definition is required here. Line 33. Let's see. Let's see. Let me set line number. Line 33. Let's see. Line 33. Okay. So let's see what we did. I close this and I close this. So it's an extra. So extra breeze is there. Extra breeze. Let's move that breeze. Escape, save and quit. So that was an extra brace. So let me run Terraform plan one more time. And if everything goes fine, we should be happy to the bank. If everything goes fine, we should be happy to the bank. We should be happy to the bank. If everything, yes, great. So you can see we have six to add. All right, so it's a lot. DNS servers is a lot to be created. So you see those things. The source group name is VM Dev ROG VNet Dev Network, because our workspace Terraform workspace list, sorry, list is dev. So this is active, this is current workspace. So let me Terraform apply, and I don't want it to ask for approval, so I'll say auto approve. Let's see if everything goes well. We should also be smiling to the bank. Terraform apply, auto approve. Okay, so these all items is going to be created. Hmm, let's see. Virtual machine creation complete, security group. Let's see. Let's turn on perform the following actions. Blah 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 blah. Username admin user. Okay. Let's see if everything goes fine. Security group. So let's, while it is creating, let's hop onto um uh, what's it called, our portal. So this has not been created yet. Let me check for um let me just check for the resource group. So we shall see everything that needs to be created under the resource group. Let's check at the resource group. Let me go here, home, resource groups. Let's see. Um yeah, you can see this is VM dev resource group. So let's check what and what is getting created. So our NIC is being created, our security group, our NSG, these are NSG is being created, our VNet has also been created. What else is in our security group? Let's keep refreshing. Let's keep refreshing. Let's see what else. Okay, let's refresh. Take some time. Come back here. Oh, error. So error. So what's the error? Creating virtual machine, name this resource group, this compute virtual machine client, failure sending request, message. Selected VM size cannot boot hypervisor generation 1. Okay, if this was a create operation, please check that the hypervisor generation of the image matches the hypervisor generation of the selected VM size. If this was an update operation, please select the hypervisor generation VM size. Okay, let's check for a proper VM size. Duplicate. So okay, I may have to change the VM size, VM remain to something else. So the VM size, so it's standard underscore capital D, okay, 2AS 2AS version 5. Let's see if everything goes fine. So that's it. Save and quit. So rerun Terraform apply. Terraform apply. Let's hold on. Okay. We've been told that just one resource, which is just the VM that is remaining. Okay, just the VM that is remaining. Let's see here if everything goes well. Just the VM. So it's being created, still creating. Take some time. Take some time. Okay, let's check. All right. So actually, that that VM name was wrong, all right, which we chose VM size, sorry, it was so you can see that that's automatically been created. So let's come here and refresh. We should see that VM in our resource. So you can see, here's the virtual machine VM. So let's go to VM itself, virtual machines. Let's go to virtual machines and refresh. All right, so we have our virtual machine here. So that's it. So the resource group in VM dev rog, and yeah. So let's check this VM. Let's check the connection string. Uh, VM dev. Let's go to connect. Go to connect. I want to connect to this virtual machine. SSH. Let's see. Let's see how it's being connected. So we have to change it to .pem. The key to .pem, and then after that, what else do we do? You can also test your connection from here. Let's test our connection. Let's test our connection. If everything goes fine, I'm not sure we my IP. Let's test connection. Let's test connection. In our NSG, we didn't open port 22. Let's test the connection. Okay, I guess NSG was not properly defined. Yes, now I see energy was not properly defined. So this is how the energy is defined. So in ours, this is what we did. So which where's the energy part? Just this part. All right. Resource group name, and we didn't define the security rule. So I'm going to copy the security rule. So copy the security rule. All right. So copy the security rule. Copy that. Come over here and let's paste it. NSG. Okay. Here, paste it. Great. So now let's do some modification. So I've just modified my NSG. Okay. So this will be my NSG name. This is an inbound rule. All right. So access is to allowed. Protocol is TCP. Source port range is 22. Destination is 22. Address prefix is any. Destination prefix is any. Tag is this. So let's see this and this. Is there any excess? One, two, so it ends here. One, two, ends it here. So there's excess. There's excess of this. All right, escape and all right, that's it. That's that. That's that. So escape and save. All right, so run Terraform. Apply one more time. Terraform apply one more time. So we are getting one to be changed, one to be changed, which is the security group. So this is the rule. Okay, destination ports, prefix, allow, range is 22. Okay, all right, one has been changed. So let's go back to our portal, check. Let's we test our connection. Let's test our connection. Let's test the connection. Okay, I just realized that my network interface card does not have a public IP. So here I've created the public IP resource, public IP resource, and yeah, and also I'm calling that public IP in my network interface card IP configuration. All right, network interface card IP configuration. So if you can see for here, here's my network interface card dev. I don't have any public IP. I just noticed that right now. So I'll be creating this and let me redeploy. Okay. Yeah. Escape, save and quit. Now do Terraform apply. Okay, so like I said, I added the public IP. So here's the public IP section. So public IP, demo IP. So this is what I did. Okay, then I now add call the public IP in the network interface IP configuration section. So this is where I called the public IP, so that the public IP will be attached to the network interface. So let's see what we have if public IP has come. So if I should refresh my blade, go to networking, so you can see I now have a public IP. Okay, public IP. So great. So let's go back to connect, SSH. All this while there was no public IP. Yes, so I can now connect with this path to my private key. All right, so private key path has to be specify a private key path. Let me see. Let's test the connection first and see what happens. So you can see, from testing the network, we can see that it shows that network connectivity allowed. So let's see how we can access this instance remotely. So go back to connect. Go back to connect. Okay, all right. So I'll open a small terminal, CMD, CMD. Uh, no, that's not it. So this is my. I've done everything. Okay, so let's see how we can connect to this virtual instance. So yeah, so I have to change. Step 2 says chmod keyname.pem. So I have to copy my demo, my private key to, um I have to change it like this. So my private key now has demo key.pem. Okay, then I also have to, that's all. So run this part. So SSH minus I. A private key is what, demo key dot pem, and username admin user at 13.95.94.3. Let's see, everything goes well. So you say yes. The pem key password read at 1 full 3. Perfect. So you can see I have been able to log into my VM instance. So you can see I have been able to log into my VM instance. Admin user VM blah blah blah. So far, we've been able to use Terraform to deploy our virtual machine to to Azure portal. All right, to Azure portal. So that's the end for this video, and I'm going to be sharing the link to this source code in my repository. So just click on my repository to take you to the link where you see this source code. Thank you very much, and thank you, and have a pleasant weekend from Frank Teaches DevOps. Thank you and have a nice day.